In the labyrinth of desire, where the flickering flames of passion dance amidst the shadows of the soul, we find ourselves entangled in a perpetual quest for that which seems to forever elude us. Amidst the myriad temptations that beckon us, the pursuit of women stands as a poignant emblem of our innate yearning for connection and fulfillment. It represents a primal urge deeply rooted within our being. Yet when illuminated by the sobering light of Stoic wisdom, the illusions of these pursuits are laid bare, akin to the fragile remains of ancient ruins. Stoicism unveils the transient nature of such desires, revealing them as fleeting and insubstantial. In this revelation, we come to understand that true fulfillment cannot be found in the external world alone. Instead, it resides within the depths of our own souls, awaiting discovery through introspection and self-mastery. Stoicism teaches us to temper our desires and find contentment in the present moment rather than endlessly chasing after ephemeral pleasures. It urges us to cultivate inner strength and resilience, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. By embracing the principles of Stoic philosophy, we can liberate ourselves from the shackles of desire and find true peace and fulfillment within ourselves. Number 1. The illusion of fulfillment. In the labyrinth of desire, where the flickering flames of passion dance amidst the shadows of the soul, we find ourselves entangled in a perpetual quest for that which eludes us. Among the myriad temptations that beckon us, the pursuit of women stands as a poignant reminder of our innate longing for connection and fulfillment. Yet in the cold light of Stoic wisdom, we see the folly of such pursuits laid bare like the brittle bones of ancient ruins. The illusion of fulfillment, the first of our revelations, exposes the deceptive allure that draws us into the pursuit of women. We are seduced by the misguided belief that another's embrace holds the key to our happiness, that in the warmth of their affection we will find solace for the restless longing within us. But as Stoic philosophy teaches, true fulfillment can never be found in external sources. It resides within the depths of our own being, waiting to be unearthed through introspection and self-discovery. In our pursuit of external validation, we relinquish control of our own happiness, placing the burden of our fulfillment upon the shoulders of others. We become like beggars, wandering the streets of our existence with outstretched hands, seeking scraps of affection to fill the void within us. But no matter how many crumbs we gather, the hunger remains unabated, for the sustenance we seek lies not in the transient pleasures of the flesh, but in the eternal wellspring of our own inner strength. To chase after women in search of fulfillment is to embark upon a fool's errand, a futile quest that leads only to disappointment and disillusionment. For even if we were to capture the object of our desire, we would find that she is but a mirage, a fleeting illusion that fades with the shifting sands of time. The true source of fulfillment lies not in possession, but in connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. In the teachings of Stoicism, we find the antidote to this existential malaise, the recognition that true happiness is a state of mind, independent of external circumstances. By cultivating inner peace and contentment, we liberate ourselves from the shackles of desire, finding solace in the present moment rather than chasing after elusive fantasies of the future. Heed the lessons of Stoic philosophy and turn inward, seeking fulfillment not in the arms of another, but in the depths of our own being. Let us reclaim our power and autonomy, forging our own path to happiness and fulfillment. For in the end, it is not the objects of our desires that define us, but the strength of character with which we face them. And in the embrace of Stoic wisdom, we find the courage to transcend the illusions that bind us and awaken to the boundless potential of our own inner light. Number 2. The tyranny of desire. In the tangled web of human experience, desire reigns as both a driving force and a relentless tyrant. The tyranny of desire, our second revelation, exposes the insidious nature of this voracious appetite that knows no bounds. Like a ravenous beast prowling in the darkness, desire consumes all in its path with insatiable hunger, leaving naught but emptiness and longing in its wake. To chase after women or any external pleasure is to surrender to the whims of our desires, to be ensnared in the tangled web of fleeting pleasures that tantalize and torment in equal measure. We become slaves to our impulses, driven by a primal urge that blinds us to reason and shackles us to the relentless pursuit of gratification. In the realm of desire, there is no room for reason or restraint. We are driven by instinct alone, like beasts driven by primal urges. We seek to possess, to conquer, to consume, heedless of the consequences or the toll it takes on our souls. But in our pursuit of fleeting pleasures, we find only fleeting satisfaction, a hollow victory that leaves us craving more. The pursuit of women, in particular, becomes a battleground where desire reigns supreme, where we are consumed by the allure of beauty and the thrill of conquest. We become like sailors lost at sea, adrift in a vast ocean of longing, clinging desperately to the promise of salvation that lies beyond the horizon. But as Stoic philosophy teaches us, true freedom lies not in the indulgence of our desires, but in their mastery. We must learn to tame the wild beast within us, to harness the power of our desires and channel it towards higher pursuits. For it is only through self-discipline and self-control that we can break free from the chains of desire and reclaim our autonomy. In the teachings of Stoicism, we find the tools we need to overcome the tyranny of desire, the wisdom to discern between true needs and fleeting wants, the courage to resist temptation, and the strength to endure hardship with grace and resilience. By cultivating virtue and inner fortitude, we can rise above the base instincts that seek to ensnare us and chart a course towards a life of meaning and purpose. Heed the lessons of Stoic philosophy and reclaim our sovereignty from the tyranny of desire. Let us strive to master our impulses, to govern our actions with reason and integrity, and to live lives guided by virtue and wisdom. For in the end, it is not the pursuit of pleasure that brings true fulfillment, but the pursuit of excellence and the cultivation of the soul. Number 3, the mirage of perfection. In the grand tapestry of human existence, few threads are as alluring and deceptive as the pursuit of beauty. The mirage of perfection, our third revelation, lays bare the transient nature of this captivating illusion that enchants and ensnares us in equal measure. From the moment we draw breath, we are bombarded by images of beauty, airbrushed models, flawless celebrities, and idealized notions of physical perfection. Like moths to a flame, we are drawn to this shimmering facade, believing it to be the epitome of desirability and the key to our happiness. We chase after it with fevered determination, convinced that in its embrace we will find solace for the restless longing within us. But alas, beauty is but a fleeting mirage, a transient illusion that fades with the shifting sands of time. What once dazzled us with its radiance eventually loses its luster, leaving us disillusioned and disenchanted in its wake. The flawless complexion of youth gives way to the lines and wrinkles of age. The sculpted physique of perfection succumbs to the ravages of time. In the teachings of Stoicism, we find solace in the recognition that true beauty transcends the superficial and the ephemeral. It is not found in outward appearances, but in the depth of character and the purity of the soul. It is the beauty of kindness, compassion, and wisdom that truly endures, leaving an indelible mark upon the world long after physical beauty has faded into oblivion. To chase after the mirage of perfection is to pursue a fool's errand, a futile quest that leads only to disappointment and disillusionment. Instead, let us embrace the imperfections of life, recognizing them as the very essence of our humanity. Let us find beauty in the wrinkles that map the passage of time, in the scars that tell the stories of our struggles, and in the flaws that make us uniquely who we are. For it is in our imperfections that we find our true beauty, a beauty that shines from within and radiates outward, illuminating the world with its timeless grace. So let us cast aside the illusions of perfection and embrace the beauty that lies within each and every one of us, for it is in embracing our own humanity that we find true fulfillment and contentment. Number 4, the emptiness of possession. In the pursuit of external validation, we often fall prey to the emptiness of possession, our fourth revelation in the journey of Stoic introspection. We convince ourselves that by possessing women, we can lay claim to happiness as if it were a prize to be won in the game of conquest. Yet in the stark light of Stoic wisdom, we realize that possession breeds only emptiness, leaving us grasping at shadows in a futile attempt to fill the void within us. We chase after women with the misguided belief that their affection and attention will somehow complete us, that in their possession we will find the elusive key to happiness. But true happiness, as the Stoics remind us, cannot be bought or sold. It must be cultivated from within, nurtured through the practice of virtue and the pursuit of inner peace. In our pursuit of possession, we become like children playing with toys, seeking to own and control that which can never truly be possessed. We cling to our possessions like life rafts in a stormy sea, hoping that they will keep us afloat amidst the tumult of life. But as we soon discover, possessions are but fleeting illusions, slipping through our fingers like grains of sand, leaving us with nothing but empty hands and hollow hearts. True happiness lies not in the accumulation of possessions, but in the cultivation of character and the pursuit of meaning. It is found in the simple pleasures of life, in laughter, in friendship, in the embrace of loved ones. It is found in the quiet moments of reflection, in the appreciation of beauty, and in the pursuit of excellence. Ourselves from the shackles of possession, and instead, let us focus on cultivating the riches that lie within us, the wealth of wisdom, the currency of compassion, and the treasure of inner peace. For it is in the abundance of our own souls that we find true fulfillment, and it is in the richness of our own lives that we discover the true meaning of happiness. Number 5, the shadow of insecurity. In the labyrinth of the human psyche, the shadow of insecurity looms ominously, casting doubt and fear into the recesses of our minds. Despite outward displays of confidence, beneath the veneer lies a lurking shadow, whispering insidious doubts and insecurities into our consciousness. To chase after women is to seek validation in the eyes of another, a desperate attempt to fill the void of inadequacy that festers within us. We parade through life with a facade of self-assurance, masking the gnawing sense of unworthiness that gnaws at our souls. We believe that by winning the affection of another, we can silence the voices of doubt that plague us, proving our worth through external validation. But alas, the pursuit of external validation is a Sisyphean task, an endless cycle of seeking approval from others in a futile attempt to quell the voices of self-doubt. In the eyes of Stoic philosophy, this quest for validation is but a hollow pursuit, a misguided attempt to find meaning and worth in the fleeting opinions of others. True confidence, true self-worth can only be found within, cultivated through the practice of virtue and the pursuit of inner peace. To chase after women in search of validation is to place our worth in the hands of others, relinquishing control of our own happiness and self-esteem. Confronting the shadows of insecurity that lurk within us with courage and resolve, let us cultivate a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation, rooted in the knowledge that our true value lies not in the eyes of others, but in the depths of our own being. Let us embrace the teachings of Stoic philosophy, finding solace in the realization that true confidence comes not from the approval of others, but from the strength of character and integrity that we cultivate within ourselves. Number 6, the betrayal of self. In the tumultuous journey of seeking external validation, we often succumb to the betrayal of self, our sixth revelation in the realm of Stoic introspection. Driven by the relentless pursuit of approval, we forsake the very essence of our being, sacrificing our integrity on the altar of validation. But true strength, as Stoicism teaches, does not reside in the fleeting adulation of others. It emanates from the unwavering conviction of self. In our quest for external validation, we become like actors on a stage, performing for an audience whose approval we crave above all else. We compromise our values, silence our inner voice, and betray the very essence of our being in a desperate bid for acceptance. But in the process, we lose sight of our true selves, becoming mere shadows of the individuals we were meant to be. True strength lies not in seeking approval from others, but in embracing our own authenticity and living in alignment with our values and beliefs. It is found in the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity, to speak our truth, and to honor the dictates of our conscience, even when it is unpopular or inconvenient. In the teachings of Stoic philosophy, we find the antidote to the betrayal of self, the recognition that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from the fleeting praise of others. We are reminded that our worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by the integrity of our actions and the steadfastness of our convictions. Cast aside the shackles of external validation and reclaim our sovereignty over our own lives. Let us embrace our true selves with all our flaws and imperfections and live with authenticity and integrity. For it is in honoring the essence of our being that we find true strength, and it is in the unwavering conviction of self that we discover the path to genuine happiness and fulfillment. Number 7, the temptation of escapism. In the labyrinth of life's trials and tribulations, the temptation of escapism stands as a siren's call, luring us into its comforting embrace with promises of respite from the harsh realities that besiege us. We chase after women or any form of distraction to drown out the clamor of our own thoughts, seeking solace in the fleeting moments of pleasure they offer. But in our desperate pursuit of oblivion, we only succeed in numbing the pain temporarily, never truly transcending it. Like travelers in the desert, parched and weary from the relentless march of existence, we seek refuge in the oasis of distraction, hoping to quench our thirst for meaning and purpose. We immerse ourselves in the sweet symphony of pleasure, losing ourselves in the intoxicating embrace of momentary gratification. But as the fleeting euphoria fades and reality comes crashing back, we find ourselves no closer to true contentment than before. In the teachings of Stoicism, we are reminded that true peace and fulfillment cannot be found in the transient pleasures of the world, but in the acceptance of life's inherent challenges and the cultivation of inner resilience. To succumb to the temptation of escapism is to deny ourselves the opportunity for growth and self-discovery, for it is only through facing our fears and confronting our pain that we can truly transcend them. Instead of seeking refuge in the arms of distraction, let us embrace the discomfort of our own thoughts and emotions, confronting them with courage and compassion. Let us cultivate mindfulness and presence, finding solace in the simple beauty of the present moment rather than fleeing from it. For it is in facing life's challenges head-on that we discover our true strength and resilience, and it is in embracing our struggles that we find the path to true peace and fulfillment. Number 8, the prison of attachment. In the intricate dance of human relationships, the prison of attachment looms large, ensnaring us in its suffocating grip as we chase after women or any fleeting desire. To pursue such desires is to willingly bind ourselves to the unpredictable whims of fate, becoming adrift on the tumultuous seas of passion without anchor or rudder. But amidst the chaos within the depths of Stoic philosophy, we discover the key to liberation, the wisdom to detach ourselves from the transient pleasures of the world. When we cling to the objects of our desire, whether it be a person, a possession, or an idea, we become prisoners of our own attachments. We surrender our freedom and agency to the capricious tides of fate, allowing ourselves to be tossed to and fro by the winds of passion and desire. But as Stoicism teaches us, true freedom lies in detachment, in the ability to release our grip on the things that bind us and find solace in the tranquility of our own inner being. In the teachings of Stoic philosophy, we are reminded that everything in this world is impermanent, subject to the ebbs and flows of time and circumstance. To become attached to that which is transient is to court disappointment and suffering, for nothing in this world can provide lasting satisfaction or security. Instead, we must learn to cultivate an attitude of detachment, recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. Detachment does not mean apathy or indifference, rather, it is an acknowledgement of the inherent impermanence of all things and a willingness to embrace life with an open heart and mind. It is the recognition that we are not defined by our possessions or our relationships, but by the strength of our character and the depth of our inner wisdom. Ourselves from the prison of attachment, casting off the chains that bind us to the transient pleasures of the world. Let us cultivate the wisdom to detach ourselves from our desires, finding true liberation in the knowledge that our happiness and fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances. For it is in letting go that we find true freedom, and it is in detachment that we discover the key to lasting peace and contentment. Number 9, the mirage of control. In the grand theatre of existence, the mirage of control stands as a deceptive illusion, tempting us with the belief that we can bend the chaotic currents of life to our will like obedient servants. We convince ourselves that by controlling the objects of our desire, whether they be people, possessions, or circumstances, we can somehow attain mastery over the unpredictable forces that shape our lives. But in our arrogance we forget a fundamental truth, that true mastery lies not in domination but in surrender. When we cling to the illusion of control, we are like sailors trying to tame the tempestuous seas, fighting against the relentless power of nature with futile defiance. We believe that by imposing our will upon the world, we can shield ourselves from the uncertainties and hardships that inevitably arise. But in reality, the more we grasp for control, the more it slips through our fingers like sand, leaving us feeling powerless and adrift in a sea of chaos. In the teachings of Stoic philosophy, we are reminded that the only thing we can truly control is ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes towards life. To seek to control that which is beyond our grasp is to court frustration and disappointment, for the world is a vast and complex tapestry of interconnected forces that defy our attempts to impose order upon them. True mastery, as Stoicism teaches us, lies in surrendering to the inherent unpredictability of life, accepting things as they are rather than trying to force them to conform to our expectations. It is in letting go of the illusion of control that we find true freedom, for only then can we open ourselves up to the endless possibilities and opportunities that life has to offer. Release ourselves from the mirage of control, relinquishing our futile attempts to manipulate the world to our liking. Let us embrace the wisdom of surrender, trusting in the natural rhythms and cycles of life to guide us on our journey. For it is in surrendering to the flow of life that we discover our true strength and resilience, and it is in accepting things as they are that we find the peace and contentment we so desperately seek. Number 10, the path to liberation. In the crucible of adversity, where the flames of challenge lick at the edges of our resolve, we unearth the path to liberation, the culmination of Stoic philosophy's timeless wisdom. Here, amidst the trials and tribulations of life, we come to understand the transformative power of self-control and fortitude, virtues that elevate us above the tumult of our circumstances and guide us towards inner peace and liberation. Stoic philosophy is not merely an intellectual pursuit, but a profound journey of self-discovery and growth. It offers us a guiding light in the darkness of our own ignorance, illuminating the path towards a life of virtue and wisdom. Through the practice of self-control, we learn to govern our passions and desires, freeing ourselves from the shackles of impulse and indulgence. Through the cultivation of fortitude, we develop the strength to endure life's challenges with grace and resilience, emerging from the crucible of adversity stronger and wiser than before. In the teachings of the ancients, we find timeless truths that transcend the boundaries of time and space. They remind us that true liberation comes not from external sources, but from within, from the mastery of our own minds and the cultivation of a virtuous life. It is through the practice of Stoic principles, temperance, courage, wisdom, and justice that we unlock the door to true freedom and fulfillment. The path to liberation with open hearts and minds, recognizing that the journey may be long and arduous, but the rewards are immeasurable. Let us walk this path with humility and perseverance, knowing that each step brings us closer to the realization of our highest potential. And let us draw inspiration from the wisdom of the ancients, allowing their teachings to guide us towards a life of purpose, meaning, and inner peace. In the end, my fellow seekers of truth, let us heed the call of Stoic philosophy, not as a means to escape the trials of life, but as a pathway to transcendence. Let us strive to cultivate inner peace amidst the tumult of the world, to rise above the petty concerns of the flesh and embrace the sublime beauty of the human spirit. For it is in the stillness of our own minds that we shall find the truest expression of freedom, the freedom to conquer ourselves and forge our own destiny. So let us journey forth, not as slaves to our desires, but as masters of our own fate, walking the path of virtue with unwavering resolve and indomitable spirit. Together we shall overcome the destructive emotions that bind us and emerge victorious in the eternal struggle for self-mastery, for in the end it is not the objects of our desires that define us, but the strength of character with which we face them. And in the embrace of Stoic philosophy, we shall find the courage to transcend the limitations of the flesh and awaken to the boundless potential of the human spirit.